Hey everyone, Randy here from LionDesk, and I'm really excited to share with you today's topic because it's something that we get asked daily by our users. And that is, what are some of the best practices when it comes to email marketing? So, on average, email marketing still has one of the highest return on investments in comparison to all other marketing techniques out there today. In fact, in 2020, email marketing still had a 4,000% return. So for every $1 spent, that's $40 returning into your pocket. However, email marketing is just much different today than it was a few years ago. Today, getting somebody's attention is a lot more challenging. It's really hard to get into people's inbox, and it's really hard to stay in front of people on a consistent basis. So today I'm going to share with you a handful of helpful tips and tricks that will help improve your email delivery rate, increase your engagement, and hopefully increase your conversion ratios or your conversion numbers. Email marketing is still a really powerful tool when done properly and used effectively. And my goal today is just to help anybody with a few little simple tips and tricks that will get you a bigger ROI when it comes to your email marketing. So the first thing that we're going to jump into is professionalism. Now, having a professional email and owning your own domain or your own brand is one of the first things that you need to do in terms of increasing your email delivery rates. The second thing that this is going to do is it's going to help drive traffic to your website. The next thing that it's going to do is it's going to create credibility, trust, and authority with your brand. Now, step back for a second and let's just kind of role play or think about this for a second. We see this all the time. Real estate agents don't have a professional brand or domain. They're selling, or they have like some, Jimmy the Realtor, at AOL. Like, we see this all the time. Those days are kind of gone. You probably should not be doing that. You should invest the few dollars for your own brand if you don't have, or talk to your broker because I'm sure that they do. But at the end of the day, sending out mass emails and lots of emails from your Gmail and AOL is not something that I would recommend. And if you look at Gmail's best practices, AOL, Outlook, all of them, same thing with them. Having that authority domain is really important. Think about if you were to get an email from an attorney and it was like Jimmy the lawyer at AOL. Like, how would you respond to that versus like Jim at Brown Stevens Law? You might do what I do, and that's grab the back end of the domain, throw it in the browser, and check out their website. That's free traffic. That's awesome. The other thing is it builds trust. It builds credibility. You're a real person. And also that consistency thing plays in as well. If it's coming from that brand, you're more likely when you start seeing it multiple times for that to start creating some brand recognition. So this before and after is a great example. If this is you before, this is what you should look like after. Okay. You should have your own. So it's Sally sells houses at gmail.com. The days of having Sally sells houses at AOL is not something that I would recommend anybody do anymore. And again, the providers are cracking down on this stuff, so it is going to be important when it comes to your delivery. Next is getting your emails into the customer's inbox. Right? You want to avoid the spam box. The most important factor with email marketing success is maximizing your email delivery rate. You want to be in people's inbox. You don't want to be in their spam box or their promotion box or social box, any of these other boxes. I open up Gmail and it seems like there's a new folder in there today filled with a bunch of stuff that I've never even seen or know where it's coming from. So email providers are cracking down on what gets into people's inbox. So you want to make sure that you're utilizing the right techniques so you're in the inbox and not one of those others. So here are some simple ways to avoid the spam filter and promotional filters. First is label your IP address, right? Domain white labeling. This is making sure that you have that domain. And if you don't know what this means, just Google domain white labeling for email. It'll walk you through how to create your domain as an authority or a trusted source. Anybody can sign up for a Gmail or an AOL or whatever, but having you set up as email, like an email whitelist, gives a little bit more trust to the providers when those emails come in. Next is white labeling your IP address. This is another thing. Like everybody, when they send emails, like from your computer or from your phone, it has like a number, right? And this is your IP address. Make sure that you're not on any spam lists or anything like that, or that you've been blocked. Sending too much spam, people rejecting, calling it spam, etc. These are all things that are going to get you on that list. You want to make sure that you're not on that list. And last but not least is email link white labeling. Try to avoid like little tiny URLs like bit.lys and things like that, and utilize your own brand. Use your own label. So when you're sending emails, utilize that trusted brand authority, right? So whatever it is, yourrealestate.com, when you're sending links out, that's what it's going to be, with the / like buy now, home evaluation, book an appointment, etc., in comparison to these little tiny URLs that sometimes are considered mysterious and spammy. So those are some things that you should absolutely make sure that you're doing immediately. The next thing is maintaining clean lists, right? When people ask you to remove them from the list, or you get a bunch of bounced emails, things like that, you want to make sure that you remove them from your list. Put them in another list to maybe call them, check in, get an updated email, whatever that case may be, but do not let those emails continuously bounce, or removing people from spam intentionally. Okay, make sure that you clean those up. You also don't want to buy lists and then mix them with your good lists as well. As you're consistent when it comes to your email marketing, you want to maintain those clean lists. As engagement goes up, so will your delivery. Next is fancy is not always better. I see a lot of these people wanting to send these emails with all kinds of pictures and all of this other stuff. Not necessarily the best anymore. Same thing with these really heavily rich HTML emails. A lot of those are getting picked up and getting put into the promotional filters and things like that. Limit your links. Do not send an email with 37 different links. Keep it limited. 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most, but keep your links limited when sending these emails. Also, avoid super salesy, spammy type of stuff. You know, like I think we've all seen these, like mega sale. Like we get these all the time in our spam box. Like, try to avoid as much salesy type of talk as possible. Direct response is great, but just make sure that it's just not super salesy. Next is being professional. Like, the professionalism part really does matter. So in a program like LionDesk, we utilize merge tags. That's like, hey, insert person's first name, how you doing, how's everything going at insert address and name, right? Those types of things. That professionalism helps amplify it, helps create engagement, and also kind of speaks to that user, especially when you're utilizing something like bulk email, when you're sending one email out to a lot of people. That personalization will absolutely help when it comes to your delivery. Moving on from there is CTAs. All emails should have a CTA, or a call to action. The goal of your email is to have the user take action on something that you want them to do. It could be book an appointment. It could be I keep messing this thing up. It could be book an appointment. It could be check out this video. It could be what are some other ones? Follow me on Instagram. Give me a review. Whatever your email is, you need to be strategic in your thought of, why am I sending this to them? And then what do I want to get out of it? If you just are sending emails to send emails, you should probably rethink your strategy, because if this isn't something that you would read, I don't know if they're going to read it either. So you need to be thoughtful in your approach when doing it. So one message going out with one goal in mind. So call to actions in every single email that you send. Okay? Moving on from there. I just said this before, one email, one call to action, one location. When crafting your emails, you're going to want to make sure you send your prospects somewhere, and that somewhere should be a landing page. And some of you might say, what the heck is a landing page? Well, ultimately, what it is it's a single web page with one call to action, with one thing in mind, whatever it winds up being. That could be, what's my home worth? Like I'm showing here on the screen. That could be download this PDF to learn everything that you need to do to buy your first home. It could be click this button to watch the video newsletter. Or it could be something as simple as, follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever the case may be. Landing pages moving forward, I think, are going to be a huge opportunity, because all it is it's taking somebody to one page, not a full website, and giving them one explanation with one actionable item. So think about this: if I were sending you to the grocery or to a grocery store, and I said, hey, just pick up eggs and this, and I sent you to like the Walmart superstore where they got all kinds of things going on, versus if I just sent you to the local grocery store down the road that all they do is have groceries, right? It's going to be much easier for you to get the eggs, get in, get out, do what you need to do quickly, versus walk all the way across the store, walk through all this other stuff, etc. So 2 things that every landing page should have. It's pretty simple: an explanation of what's being offered or explained, and a place for them to opt in, take action, say yes. That's it. Now, from a lead generation strategy, this is an absolute goldmine. Again, I think landing pages moving forward is going to be a big thing. Landing pages is something that LionDesk is offering. So if you don't have them, I recommend start to play with them, because they will help you with your business. And again, when it comes to emails, when you're sending emails out, you can just send them to a landing page. They're super easy. You don't have to do a whole lot of work. And it's a great place to get people to take action and engage with you. So next is quality beats frequency, but consistency is still key. So sending too many emails can quickly turn somebody off. Like, we've all been in the situation where it's like email, right? Like, too much is not necessarily a good thing, especially when the quality isn't really there. So think twice about sending those weekly emails, unless they're filled with quality information. Ask yourself, is this something that I would read? Is this something that I would engage if this was sent to me? If it's okay, send it. If not, just reconsider. Just be aware of what it is that you're sending, okay? Have really quality stuff. Even if it's once a week, once every other week, I would rather see that than email every single day with just a bunch of garbage, because before you know it, if somebody keeps deleting those emails and never reads them, you're going to end up in that promotional folder, that spam folder before long. So here is some things that I would recommend based upon best practices in email marketing, and then some of the data that we've collected at LionDesk in terms of what type of consistency you should have. So first and foremost, this is where I think like 65% of all real estate agents get the majority of their business. That's their sphere of influence. They all know that they're not emailing enough. This is the exact consistency pattern that you probably should take in order to be more consistent. It's 6 to 12 emails to your sphere of influence a year. That's it. 6 emails. 12 if you got really good stuff, right? Past customers, 3 to 6 times per year. Well, we already know like a birthday is one piece of low-hanging fruit, and a housing anniversary is probably another. So coming up with a third or a fourth or a fifth is probably going to be pretty easy, but you need to make sure that you're reaching these 2 audiences. These 2 audiences make up like 70% of most real estate professionals' business out there. So getting past customers and turning them into advocates or buying and selling with you again in the future is something important, and something that you can accomplish every time if you are consistent. The next is old leads. These are old leads that you might have purchased before: Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook, etc. You want to warm this list back up, so you need to start getting on that frequency train with them. So 10 to 16 times over 90 days, right? This is over a 3-month period. Yeah, I know it sure looks like it's a lot, but these are people who don't really know you. They don't trust you. They don't know anything about you yet. So you kind of got to play that consistency game with them with quality content in order to get their attention, drive them to one of your landing pages, give them a little about me, and then build a relationship from there. Real estate is still a contact sport. It's still, you got to be in front of people. And again, real estate isn't transactional in the sense of buying a cup of coffee. There's a much longer buying cycle. So that's something to factor in. Last but not least is new leads. You should really hit those leads 2, 3, 4+ times, especially in the first 30 days when you get that lead, and then pretty consistently thereafter. Again, your job is to warm this person up, make them feel comfortable with you so that they want to do business with you when they are ready to buy or sell. Now, I was reading a recent study that Microsoft did, and they said in 2020 that our attention spans are literally less than a goldfish. Like our attention spans right now are 3 to 8 seconds at the max, and partially due to our cell phones and the notifications that we're constantly being distracted by, etc. So when you're creating these emails, just remember that you don't have a lot of time with them. Keep it short and simple. Keep it to 10 sentences or less. So it almost looks like a text message, or where it doesn't look like work. Somebody can glance over it in 5 seconds and pretty much read the whole thing. That's what you're looking for. Again, having a call to action is a quick explanation with that CTA. Keep it short. You will have much better engagement, and that's what you want. You want people clicking around, scrolling, reading, pausing on it versus just sending it right to the trash. A short email will ensure that that happens. So a quick wrap up here. These are some things that you want to make sure that you implement into your business this year for sure. Be professional, right? Use your emails to build brand and build trust and authority. Next is making sure that your tech is set up properly. Those email white label domains and IP addresses, that stuff matters. Google it. It's very easy to do. It's going to help with that delivery rate. Next, send quality emails and be consistent. Consistency is key. Next is utilize call to actions or CTAs in every email. Follow best practices to avoid spam, taking people off lists, etc., stuff like that. Keep it simple and make sure that it's scalable. That's really, really important. It needs to be simple. And once you kind of get into this rhythm, you want to make sure that it's duplicatable. So when as you're growing your business, and if you ever hire somebody, that they can kind of do that too. Okay. And last but not least is testing. Make sure that you test your emails with yourself, with a colleague, have them click on them, ask them what they see, send it to a couple different email providers, have a friend, family member, whomever, but test your emails. You can be making small, minor tweaks, I call these quarter turns, in your email technique and strategy that will then help increase your deliverability rate and ultimately increase your conversion rates, which that's what you want. Increased conversion rates hopefully turns into a bigger return on investment for you when it comes to email marketing. So I hope that you guys got something out of this little recording or this little video today. And all of these practices are available inside of LionDesk. So if you email best practices, or in our blog, we have some of this stuff as well. But again, email marketing can impact your business in a very big way, in a consistent way, year over year, if it's done right. So I highly recommend utilizing these practices and implement them in your business this year.